What's up, everybody? Krydax here, and welcome back to another episode of pYanodon's Season 3. We've got our new cellulose recipe researched, and I think we are good to go ahead and upgrade our substrate. So the question is, do I use the base bots to tear this out, or do I use my own personal bots? I say I just use the base bots and reap the consequences. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Yep, there it is. Oh man, that was a bad idea. It's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing is the matter. Alright, we're doing this. In for a penny, in for a pound is what they say. I believe. Somebody says it anyway. And we're just gonna plop this right here in a spot where we could potentially add another one later if we really wanted to. Because if I do it this way, it's taking up more of the vertical space. So I think I'll do it this way. Like right here. And we're just gonna have to ignore that for like 10 minutes. And we'll have our 10-minute timer tell us to check on that. So, what do I actually want to work on next? We've got a lot of other metals that we need to do, but I feel like I kind of want to wait until we have shortages to work on those, because it feels a little unnecessary to do it before then. And do I have Aug Paddock Mark IIs yet? No. Let's research towards Aug Paddock Mark IIs. And we'll start off with the graphene into big mines technology. Because big mines allow for quartz mines which consume drill heads, so that might not be necessary. Which are the ones that don't consume drill heads? Or do they all? Okay, they all do. But they all have a mining speed of 20. I guess what matters then is what fluids things consume. Yeah, like quartz needs acetylene, which sucks. So that's bad. But like raw coal, oh, that needs kerosene, so that also sucks. Although I think you can, is there an easy way? Oh, the yield is 2 raw coal? Wait, is that? Does that mean it's only 1.5 kerosene per raw coal? Because anyway, I feel like we could, yeah, we can turn raw coal into tar, and then we could turn tar into light oil. So to get heavy oil, we'd have to do a multi-step process. Not the easiest. I was just thinking if we could make kerosene from the raw coal pretty easily. Right, that's a nightmare. Phosphate needs syngas. What other kinds of rocks are there? Like, what was the other one we wanted to look at? Was it stone? Or I don't think stone has one. Tin is free, so that's a nice one. Chromium is also free, so that'll be easy. Zinc is free. Oh, it was lead. It was lead ore. Oh my goodness. Ah, that's so loud. Sorry, an alarm. Is it not called lead ore? It is, but somehow typing lead ore didn't lead me to this. Yeah, the lead is free. So the lead mine is what we really need, because this will save me an insane amount of acetylene. And we need one that's not covered. Really? Both of the ones I have are covered by train tracks? That's very inconvenient. I might be able to redirect these train tracks. Let's see. Yeah, we can do that. Alright, get rid of those. And then this guy will have to move over. Start this and this. Okay. And then we can build a lead mine, which can fit one module, by the way. We can do one module in there. Uh-oh, we need fluid mining drill Mark III. Which we can already make. Look at that. And can these be affected by beacons? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Alright, so in the auto mall, we got to add in lead mine 1, and then fluid mining drill Mark III 2. Let's do those at a time. We'll do 4. We need both of these. Alright, so that's good. Research is going. The afterburners are not on because of automation science not being fast enough. And we're consuming about 290 per minute. So we're actually keeping up though, which is important to note. So that's good, but not gaining by a ton. Which means if the afterburners kick on, we'll be consuming more automation science than we're producing. A 3-4 and a 2-3. So I could fit a 4-2 in like in this area? Why not? 4-2s aren't that expensive. And that'll boost us from 5.59 to 7.43. Nice. Now, I don't know if we'll actually be able to keep up with that rate. I don't know what the actual rate is for inputs is going to be. Like, we've got 61 flora, which is absurd. 51 soil. 8.6 iron, which I think it's only on half of a yellow belt at this point. So let's just belt upgrade all this. things seem to be running fairly smooth since we fixed that, so that's good. All right, so that technology's going. It says it's going to take 20 minutes at this rate without the afterburners. That's okay. What can we improve? How's moss been, by the way? Looks like it's been keeping up okay, I think. Gosh, it loads so fast. Oh man. You know, this is a very imbalanced loader situation here. Should be like this. And that's not powered, so. Now it'll load at a rate of, what is this, 90 plus another 15 per side, 210 items a second. Yeah, that should do it. That should do it. All right, so we're gonna need to make graphene for the big mines, right? They all, I assume, need graphene. And they need that cobalt chromium alloy, but guess what? We already made it. Heck yeah. But yeah, graphene rolls need biofilm, graphene sheet, and phosphoric acid. And graphene sheet is PDMS graphene base, copper plate, and boric acid. And that needs nickel cores, PDMS. That needs pure sand, nickel plate, methane, hydrogen. And that needs dimethyl dichlorosilane. Say that 5 times fast. And HCl. And DMDCLS, I don't know how to say that, is silicon copper grade 4 and chloromethane. Oh my gosh, there's so many steps to this. Okay, so let's throw that in a Helmod tab and see. Why is this so laggy? It's getting worse. I wonder if it's because of my own... Is it because of how many tabs I have in Helmod? Does it get worse as I get more things in Helmod? That could be a thing. Okay, what the heck is a molecular assembler? I'm not gonna get the Mark II for a while, that's for sure. Okay, I'm about to unlock it. So, nothing crazy in the tier 1. I mean, it's got red circuits in the tier 1, but mostly tier 1 tech materials rather than tier 2. Let's add that into here. Probably just wanted to... No, we'll do 2 at a time. Alright. So then, graphene sheets, PDMS bases, nickel cores, PDMS, dimethyl whatevers, chloromethane, and I think we're down to stuff we know and recognize. So let's productivity on this. And then this is a good one for prod. Less silicon, less chloromethane. This one can do prod. This one can do prod. We can all do prod. This is so nice. Wow, this is so nice. We cut our cost of these lower tier materials like less than in half. That was 4 a second. Now it's only 1.6. Super nice when you can do prod on everything. And then, yeah, like a 3-3 beacon on everything. Brings all the building counts nice and low. So, pretty easy build, just lots of random imports and such. Alarms going off. Did the build finish? Looks like it did. Sweet. So then we said we needed, what was it? It was moss and fiber. and then substrate in petri dishes. So then you change the wood request to raw fiber. $148, that's too many. Okay. And then I probably need to go over there and fix some things. Oh, that's not very far. And yeah, we'll make sure that we've got power and enough space in this main station. Okay, this will be changed to raw fiber. And then upgrade that one. And then we said fiber and moss. And petri dish and hydroxide. So this is all good to go. Just mergify those. And then that's basically this belt. Okay. What was this? Oh, that was the output belt. This guy. This. Okay, that looks a lot cleaner. Okay, and then from there, we've got to get the fiber rolling. I did something wrong. I think I just did the wrong thing on the belt. Alright. Is the fiber here yet? Yes, the fiber has arrived. So we need to hoover up all this wood. And there it is. Boom. Alright. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, I did manage to forget about filtering out substrate that ends up here. Wait, no I didn't. No I didn't. I just have to do it this way. Sorry. Or, not substrate, petri dishes. So now, yeah, because the petri dishes go back that way. That was correct. How are they ending up on the wrong side? How did I screw that up? Oh, just the initial ordering of these is wrong? It's kind of unfortunate I didn't check that earlier. Like peppermint. We got the red and white. I feel like we could make a cool belt pattern with that. Okay. So pick up all this. All the order switches. Feed it back in. And then we've got nice little buffer here, which we can then feed 30 a second into the train station. Okay. There's that, and then what's going on here? Oh! Well, that's just a silly mistake. Well, we are going to use a 90-degree inserter like this, which I don't often do. I'm keeping it 90 though, rather than less than 90, so it's not going. Oh, and I built the wrong type. Don't need stack and zipper for that. There we go. Now, why? Something's going wrong here. It's either. Wait a second. What's going on? There should be only. Maybe that'll fix it. Because that belt shouldn't be full. I guess the problem is the incubated ones back up. Maybe? Is that a problem? Shouldn't be. Okay, yeah, this should be fine. I think the problem is that, like, maybe adding these in is messing some stuff up. I don't know. Or that it was just the sides of lanes that things were on. I think it's okay now. Okay, yeah, now the incubateds are backing up. Oh, I see the problem. Yeah. Okay, hold on. So this needs to... So the problem is when incubated soil on this belt, which is not the easiest fix. Especially with this being right here. I can't move it. So let's say we've got a... This goes basically steam engines to the right, which means everything is forced left. We'll do it that way. So this reforces all of the regular petri dishes to be on the one side. So any that spoil here and end up going here on the left will end up getting forced out onto the other side. Hopefully that works out okay. I'm going to lower this number slightly. feels a bit high. Let's go to like 78. 6 less. Alright, I mean, it seems to be working. Substrate. We were hitting 445 and 450 when we needed to for periods of production. And now we are hitting 740. So not quite double, but close. What's holding us back? We don't have enough incubated petri dishes. Or we do, but there's too many of them. Yeah, I see the issue. Okay. So let's say, because this is a lot of buffer. I do think we need a decider combinator here. Okay, so we'll say petri dish incubated. Read hold is less than 25 and substrate, which we are measuring from this chest, is less than 3,500. Yeah, outputs the green, and that is now our condition. So the problem is it's making it at a good rate, but these are sitting on the belt for too long and they're spoiling on the belt. So we need to make them on demand so that they don't have as much time to spoil. So this won't fire up until we only have 25 on this belt, which is maybe not enough because that's 4 plus 4 plus 4. That's already 12. That doesn't maybe leave enough for this guy. I don't know what the response time is going to look like. Just fast enough. Yeah, it seems like that's actually just about right. And then it stops making them while these eat up a few more. Okay. That's feeling about right. And the spoilage timers are doing okay here. Think, is this decreasing on average or is it staying about steady? I think it's staying about steady. Maybe it's getting lower. I don't know, it doesn't seem to be dropping below 50. Alright. Good enough for me. So now we got 800 a minute. Dang. Which is, yeah, 806 a minute's our max. So, sweet. I think we've done it. By Jove, we've done it. Cool. Alright, so that should take care of any substrate problems. Let's go ahead and upgrade the loading of this. And yeah, I think we'll call it a day on the substrate. Nice. And we'll upgrade you. So we got 1 fluid train needed, and build it over here. Okay. Do we have any more? Oh, here's an old-fashioned solid. We've got to be close. I forget. How can we find out? We go to trains, we go to stations, we type solids. Is there a way to tell? I mean, I guess we can see what type of locomotive is waiting by the icon, right? So there's one. Get rid of you. Solids. Okay. Any others? None that are waiting currently. That doesn't mean we have none, but it's got to be close to none. And then fluids. Okay, here's one. But only one. That's two more we've updated on the fluids and the solids. I'm honestly still kind of blown away that with our... Uh-oh. Is that going to cause a problem? I have no idea what's going to happen. What are the bots going to do? Are they just going to wait until this train moves away? I have no idea what's going to happen there. Okay, big mines are getting done, but we need to do graphene ASAP. So I think we're going to... This is going to be a good generic area, so here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do a... We'll do a big F requester, but I guess we'll do the weak side request first. Probably here. And I'm just gonna say this is gonna be a bot-based one. Make sure to wire it up. Okay, I did remember. And then that. Okay. So then that will be able to request all the random crap, and then we do a fluid doodad, which is extensible here, and we'll start with I don't remember what all the fluids were. I know we needed hydrogen chloride, I know we needed methanol, and I don't remember any of the others. What were the others? We needed HCl, we need methanol, we need methane. We'll make hydrogen on site. We need diborane. Etching solution, we need a tiny amount. But it's gotta be easier to request etching solution still. Huh. 38 a minute. So 1,000 is like 7 minutes. So 10,000 is 70 minutes. So much etching solution to waste. I might have a smaller threshold for that one. Sulfuric acid. Wait, was sulfuric on the list even? Yeah. Diborane. Another cheap one. Do we already have sulfuric? We have lubricant, nitrogen. I have sulfuric, and I have phosphoric. Perfect. Okay. Already have those, so we need methane. Okay, so methanol, methane, and then diborane. And then we got phosphoric, we got an etching solution, and that should be it for fluids. Okay. So then... And we have no space for a station control. So if I want a station control, I'm gonna have to replace this pipe with a pipe here. And then station control can be here. And we're doing etching solution to just 10,000. And we'll request it to 11,000. Okay. Oh, and then I need a filter onto you. Perfect. So that gets all the fluids, and then as far as solids, let's get those going. We need... I love how this sorts things. It's so nice. So we need pure sand at a clip of 7.2. I should just make that from nothing, right? What does this actually make? .4 sand. Oh, that's with no modules in here. This makes 13 sand, but it doesn't make pure sand. Let's make a fresh one. So if we're doing a pure sand from nothing, we need both of these. And what's the rate ratio here? It is 1:1, so that's nice. And we get up to 7.2 pure sand. That's without even having any higher tier buildings. So it's all about the soil at this point. So then the soil... can be like this. And then that gets us... Wait, what? Oh, no recipe selected. That gets us 5.76. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. And then I don't have to worry about inserters on those. Oh, shoot. We got the issue with the sludge. Yeah. Man. No way to fix that, is there? And then the only other thing I could do is, like, put this on the other side. Like this. Oh, you know, I guess this works out okay. This isn't the worst thing. It's not quite square, but it's closer to square than it was before. And the rate on this is not perfect, but it's acceptable. Now, this probably won't upgrade, yeah. I need straight up the new icon. I mean, do I even want a tier 2 pump jack? I might. It does go a lot faster. And it still is actually the holdup, though barely. We need 1.1k a second, and this makes 1.08, so that's fine. That's fine. So this is all fine. I just need to figure out the piping. So the piping, we'll say, does one of these. Inline, corner, attach. Okay, so there's the piping for that. And then these are auto feed into here. And then this is auto shovel tons of soil into you. Power up everything from this central power. And then we're gonna need one pipe. Unfortunately, outside of our rectangle, I don't think there's any way to fix that. Oh no, there is. I'm being silly. I just go this direction. I love advanced fluid handling. It lets you do some stuff that you just would not be able to do otherwise, like this. Very handy. And I still have the ability to add in a 4 whatever beacon. Maybe we'll have it be 4-1 by default to boost the rate of everything. Cool. All right. ZI pure sand. I'll just leave the tier 2 icon because that makes it kind of clear that this is a tier 2 build. Okay, and then we're gonna put that. Did that end up in my inventory? It did. I want it to be in here. And what is this one? My timer. That goes in the Pi Season 3. Wait, I already have the to-do timer. I don't know what this is. Delete it. Okay. And then this book also should be in the Pi Season 3. And we need to call it the Diet Beacon book. Let's upgrade the unloading speed here. Seems like we got a lot coming in. Where's all this substrate going? We're not trashing it, right? No, it's on channel 1. It's backing up. Okay, we're good. We're good. It's just taking a second. I hope that train situation got figured out. I still don't really know what would happen, but I assume it got figured out. Alright, so back to our project here. So we need the ZI pure sand. And we can put it anywhere. It's not huge. It's not tiny. I'd say it's somewhere in the middle in terms of build size. Can I build RoboPort tier 2? I can. I should probably make some of these, right? Because they have a much bigger construction area, which is handy if I need it. And like, they're not crazy expensive, honestly. The Nextlet batteries are probably the most expensive part. Because the counts on like mechanical part, I only need 1 mech part 2 SAM. They do need 10 red chips, but that's not a huge amount. It's only a huge amount if you're like building hundreds of them. 20 stainless, 20 asp. Not terrible. So let's get to building this stuff. I'm gonna say this is my kind of cutoff for the other builds below. Like 2 more tiles. Yeah, we'll do this. So then this is where we start these. I'll build them back in a little bit. So this is my first corner. I don't know if it matters which way these buildings are facing. And then I don't know what we're gonna need to export either. I haven't looked into that. So chloromethane is used in an alternative DCM recipe? What is this? Wait. Did we not? Trichlorosilane. Ah, DCM is different. Dichloromethane. Yeah, DCM is a big chemical. I watch Nile Red, and you should too, because they're some of the most entertaining videos on YouTube, in my personal opinion. Nile Red is a chemistry guy who does wacky stuff like, I turned gloves into grape juice, which sounds clickbaity, but it's legitimately not. He actually does turn gloves into grape juice. It's kind of nuts. And just like the equipment that he buys, like the stuff he does, it's like what you wish chemistry class felt like in school. It's so fun. And he has a very interesting presentation style. So then I was trying to copy it for a second. I'd have to think more about how to emulate him. But anyway, all that to say, I wouldn't, like, I could see some people not liking his content, but I very much do like his content, and I think a lot of you would, just given that you're watching me. It's possible you don't, though, but, because, like, I could see the way he talks bothering some people, but I actually, for whatever reason, find it calming and endearing and kind of relaxing. Let's see. I'm literally just gonna go in a row here, and we'll deal with consequences later. I am gonna need boric acid from an electrolyzer. And the ZI sand, we're also gonna need hydrogen from an electrolyzer. I mean, this is the whole freaking build. We just gotta hook everything up and get a bunch of roboports going here for channel 1 so we can have the bots bring all the solids. I also need a roboport for regular channel. This guy. And then this will be channel 1 right here. And then this will be channel 1. Okay, so as far as requests, we need copper grade 4. Can I do O4? I don't even know. It's gonna be like grade O4 copper. Copper parentheses grade 4. There it is. Yeah, stack a minute, so we can do 25 stacks of that. Biofilm. Be good. Silicon. Copper plate and nickel plate. Okay. Easy enough. I might go like 27 stacks, just to kind of make the rates a little more even in terms of buffers. And like, realistically, I could go a little lower on this. Okay. No solids up here, except for the sand, which I'm making on site. We already requested all the fluids that we needed, so I think we're ready to go, presuming we actually have copper grade 4 on trains, which I'm not sure if we do. We might not. No, we don't. So I'm gonna have to steal some grade 4 and provide it. These are filtered. So let's do, they shouldn't be though. This should be a bulk, but it's whatever. We haven't had train delivery rates, so. So I'm gonna put copper grade 4 over here. We're gonna rebuild copper probably relatively soon actually, but for right now, this will be fine. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I'm glad undo worked right there. I feel like that could have been a crash. I don't even know it. Like, it turned around and then I undid it and turned back around, but somehow that was all fine. 2,500 on that. I need to make this bigger. Big Mines is finished. That's set up. It's going to be automatically low priority. And this is blowing through 3 grade 4 a second, so that's 180 a minute. 10 minutes for a train load. Not bad. Okay, how far away are these bots? Not too far. The faster bot speed is really helping with the lag time. Like, I can actually not go do something else. I can wait for it. Whereas before, I basically had to go do something else while I waited. So So it's really nice that I can now kind of just do whatever I need to do once the bots bring the thing. Okay. So that should get grade 4 going, and then you're gonna need a bunch of fluids. Let's see. So the methanol. This is where advanced fluid handling really shines. I mean, I say this like 5 times an episode. I feel like it's always shining. Goats with Pants didn't use it in his organic base, which I find interesting because I feel like in some ways it would allow for more organicness, but it also, if your goal is to use up as much space as possible, or I should rephrase that, leave as little empty space as possible, slightly different than what I said. I guess in some ways it makes sense to want to use the vanilla pipes because they do allow a bit more of that like organic look. The downside to advanced fluid handling is that you kind of obscure a lot of what's going on with pipes. It's all happening underground. You've got some of these around, but you don't have like these cool, you know, like stuff like this anymore, which does actually look kind of neat. So in that sense, I can understand wanting that to be different a little bit. Okay, so this brings in the chloromethane, and then we've got a requester. And then that makes the dichloromethocyanhydrine, whatever stuff. Lots and lots of letters, you would say. And then this, we'll just hook up to that. And then we get some water. I can just make wherever. I assume 1 or 2 is going to be enough. Oh, definitely 1 is enough. And then we've also got you bringing HCl to here. And then this is the water. Goes across. Do we need water for anything else? We do right here. Okay. Goes up, T-junction. This is coming together fast. Gas vent on the oxygen. And then the, what is this called? The methane is up 1. And then the Iberane here. I've got a lot of crossings here, which is not the best kind of manners, but whatever. And then we've got to hook up the etching solution, and that should be it. And the etching will go up here, and so this does have a insertion component. No real reason the etching should be further away, so I might as well be on this side. Okay. That should handle that, and then the sulfuric. We need to bring up from down here. Oh my gosh, no way. What? That's crazy. No, we make etching solution here? I didn't even look where etching solution. No, what are the odds, man? What are the freaking odds? It's too late. I've already, you know what? No, this is crazy wild. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Like, of all the blocks, I've got a quite a large number of blocks. To be fair, these were kind of out of the question. I feel like I'm not building down here much these days. But like, of all the random places I could have put this, what are the odds etching solution ended up being in the same block? And that's the one we needed just a little bit of. Like, it just works out so perfectly. But now what I need to do is, you know, the classic system where we pump out so that way we don't interfere with that, and then we go up here. And this is okay because etching solution is only ever made one way in one place. I'm okay with that. Because I'm easily able to expand this etching solution, which means I will never ever need to make etching solution in a different spot. So for now, I need to pump this etching solution out, which I'm concerned. No, we will have enough space. Okay, so this etching solution should empty out. Boop. Perfect. And then we can disconnect that, turn that, and remove this. And now we've got etching solution, which, do I have some weird condition here? Oh, yeah, here's the problem. We're only requesting lard if etching solution is below 30K. But the problem is now we've got another need for etching solution. So I need another buffer. Let's just use one of these guys. I think I just need to change what I'm measuring. I'll say we want up to 5,000 in this buffer tank. Because 1,000 lard is going to be times 15,000 etching solution plus 20% more, so 18,000. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that should fix that issue. On channel 1, you're on channel 1, you're on channel 1, and that should be good. Okay. And then I need some bots. Which I have. Put 10 in there. Oh, this needs to be channel 1. There we go. Look at him go. Alright, and then we're gonna need the nickel. You know, I'm building a lot of stack inserters. I really shouldn't be unless I need them. I know there's a lot of things that run faster these days, but I still need to be a little more cognizant, I think, of the... Where do I want this? I think I want it this way. And then the pure sand comes out of here. Okay. The pure sand is rolling to all the way to here. For whatever reason, I'm feeling the underground method. That one will be a stack insert. When I say the underground method, I just mean like underground belts look cleaner method rather than a long regular belt. I don't know why. I was just feeling it. Alright, so once that gets built, that should be fine, assuming I didn't screw up that. Nickel will need to come in on channel 1. I don't even know how many recipes. Probably a lot. go to like 50. I don't know. Whatever. We'll go to a lot. You know, I could just type in a number, but that would be less fun. Okay, so that's good, and then this is getting the nickel core and the whatever this is called. If I can. This whole thing down one. Then that looks better. Alright, so then that's good. We're not bringing in the sulfuric acid because I got so flabbergasted by our etching solution situation. Which is still kind of mind-blowing to me that just all worked out the way it did. Really, really funny. I mean, it's obviously like not a 0% given that there's a lot of materials in the game and, you know, there's a decent chance things overlap, but it is crazy that like there was one thing we needed just a tiny amount of that we only make in one place in the base, and it's only been used for like one thing so far, and it just happened to be right here. That does feel a bit serendipitous. What did I do with the methanol here? I did something wrong. Oh, the building's in the way of the pipe. Is this fixable? It might be. That can move up with no issues. That can move up with no issues. This can move up. Okay. I can do that. Okay. That should work fine. There we go. Oh, you know, we were supposed to 3-3 all of this, which means I'm now gonna need like multiple beacons. Oh well. Good news is I don't care about the power waste. I am a little sadder about the module waste though, but whatever. Oh. Okay. So now the sand is rolling in. Wait, a 4-1. Oh, it's a 3-1 right now. There we go. There's supposed to be 3 3s. Oh, come on now. Okay. So that's good, that's good, that's good. Nickel cores. These are waiting for copper 4, which we'll check on, and then we'll probably be done with the episode here. I just want to make sure copper 4 is getting loaded in. It is. And it's at 1.4K already. Perfect. Alright, so then finishing this up, we've got PDMS done when copper 4 arrives. And then we need another requester chest here, an inserter there, an inserter there, channel 1 here. We'll just request 100. PDMS gets direct inserted. Boric acid's done. And then graphene sheets. Oh, I am missing one more thing. We need to... Weird how that, like, isn't adding more. Anyway, biofilm will say 100. Graphene sheets get direct fed, and then we need the what is that called? Phosphoric acid. Oh, which is also here. Which I noticed because I looked at this, but I didn't notice what it was for. So the phosphoric also, and look at that, it just naturally threads the needle here between these two. This has been a serendipitous build. I'm a fan of this. I wish more builds worked out like this. Alright, so phosphoric is done. And then we need to do tier 1 molecular simpler instead, which we should have. And then that makes graphene, which we then provide up to like 300? I don't know. Sure. Oh, you know what? I just realized this building's gonna be pretty slow. Hopefully I don't need graphene at a very high rate for a while. It seems like it's mostly used... Is this used in blue circuits? No. Space science. Okay, not gonna worry about that for a while. Are these used in... No, they're not used in science. What is it yin gap? Okay, so these are used in some late game stuff. Great alien samples we need for py3, I think. Okay, so these are used in py3. I wonder at what rate. I may need to go faster than this tier 1 building. Just to help head off some potential issues, I'll do a 5-1 for now. Should help. We add a beacon. 5-1. Yeah, that gets us a lot closer to the desired rate. Anyway, so that'll fill up, and then the bots can bring the results over to where? Do I have just a generic provider? I think I do. Ignore the parameters, because we gonna do something. I don't, have we done this at all yet? I don't know if this might be the first one. In fact, do I even have it? I do. Might be the first one we've ever done. Definitely upgrade you guys. Definitely wire this up. But yeah, having these two is gonna be super nice, because now I can just use bots for everything. And so this is going to request graphene roll, and we'll say 2500 for now. Oops. It needs to be a positive request. This is not a train request. This is a normal request. And I probably should add like one more channel 1 RoboPort. Yeah, that's a little better. Because they're going to be flying up here, down here, along this area. Alright, I think we need to be done with the episode, but how close are we to the copper 4 being enough? Oh, it just got delivered? Yeah, we gotta watch this happen. It should get here any second now. There it is. There it is. And here come the bots for it. Everything else should be ready to go. So we should see our first graphene rolls here. Perfect. Well, that is a great place to end an episode, I think. If this does in fact work. Which it seems to be. Yay! Graphene rolls, baby! And then we gotta change you to channel 1. Now why is... Oh, the provider's not on channel 1. There we go. That should now have deliveries coming. Alright, there we go. Our first graphene rolls. Now, do we not have enough bots? Do I need more bots for this? It says 0 out of 10. That's not usually a good sign. I need a couple more bots. Go to 15 and see if that's enough. Maybe I shouldn't have used bots. Still not enough? Surely 15's enough. Come on now. They go so fast. They go so fast. But I guess they're going pretty far. I didn't really build close, did I? So that's part of the problem. Whoa, I could have just gotten ran over. I did not intentionally notice where I was standing. Alright, well, let's add a couple more. Let's go to 18. I guess it's 18. Because, like, how many items are we actually moving? 3. I guess there's the output of 2. That's 5. 6.5. About 7 a second, but it's a little bit less than that. It's really only like 5 a second total. I guess it's just the... Oh, there we go. Now we've got 8 available. Okay. Is that because they stopped getting crafted? No, I think now we're just maintaining our like max rate is what's happening. They were just oversupplying the early buildings, I think. Yeah, like they were oversupplying this building, but it's gonna get backed up soon. And then once this one backs up, they'll supply less of these. Okay, so we should be fine. I was correct that 15 was enough. It's just taking a second. Cool. All right, well, Graphene's ready to go, and we will call it an episode there. Good times, good times. I know we're at 430 hours. There is a 400-hour stream coming. I'm excited for it. I need life to be in a spot where I have the life energy to, like, take a day off and not have it as a total day off. I do enjoy the stream, but it, you know, when I stream for 6 hours or whatever and stuff, it's kind of like a work day, and I enjoy it, but it still isn't just a free day. And so I need a day that I feel like I can afford that in terms of life energy, which I know a lot of you understand. So what we'll be doing is probably announcing it closer to when it happens. So keep an eye on the Discord. If you're not in the Crydania Discord, go check it out. It's pretty awesome. We got a lot of cool people there. Feel free to chat me up. But I'll announce it there for sure before it happens, and you can get any updates there. When do we get nanomaterial tier 2? I already have it available. We should definitely do that. I even have them like built, so we can get some free Mexilid Matrix here. Anyway, I will announce that. I don't know when it will be. It could still be a couple weeks away, to be honest, or it could be as soon as, like, I don't know, this weekend. It just depends on kind of my plans. So I'll let you guys know on the Discord, and of course I'll let you know in these episodes as well. I imagine I'll know at least a couple days in advance, so there'll at least be one episode of warning, but who really knows. One thing I do plan to do in that episode that I'm really excited about is I plan to what's the word? I plan to test the braking force. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember my big braking force spiel, but the update that Nick Uwo made for LTN adds a bunch of graphs, and like you can measure timings and stuff, and so it'll allow us to finally test how much more efficient does our train network get with the braking force upgrades. Is it a lot? Is it a little? I'm guessing it's a little. It's more a question of how little. Is it like 1%? Is it 4%? You know, those are both small numbers, but 4% is kind of a real amount. 1% is almost like, what's the point? It's not even worth the research at that point, you know? And so it'll depend. I am curious how much of an effect it is. I'm sure it won't be huge. I'm also sure that different bases will have different effects, right? So you'd have to test your base to see how much it helps you. Braking force is going to help more on builds where trains spend a larger percentage of their time braking, which could be longer trains, it could be more traffic, it could be I don't even know, But all that to say, I'm excited to test that. And we won't be able to actually use that version of LTN, unfortunately, because I'm, like we've talked about, I'm using the Dan Bopes fork, which allows us to do multiple inventories, which is how our super trashers work, which I like. The only other idea I've had for super trashers, by the way, I know that we said we were done with the episode, and here I am doing a whole new thing. The only other idea I've had for super trashers is this. So this allows us to have 3 stations in a row. So we could have A, B, and C. And A, B, and C are all kind of in a row here. Wow, this is really hard to see. Okay, hold on. So this is our normal area, but then this is 2 tiles back, and then this is 2 tiles back. So we could have 3 stations all accessing this one spot. Now, I guess it won't work properly for the... I guess what you do is this. You just do this. And this guarantees that all of them end up in the same area. And then maybe there's some clever... Because if it's these 6... Ignoring the outer 2. These 6. I mean, I guess the simplest solution is just this. Huh. I guess you just have to turn on... So these will all be filtered... No, we'd have to do a little bit of magic, I think. But this way, you can... I know, here's the other thing I was thinking. Cybersyn Combinator. Is there a... here's the other problem. Yeah, oh, that sucks. The one in the middle can't be touched without touching the other ones. Because, you know, that's just how the tiles work. Like, Cybersyn Combinators affect... Wait, no! This only affects 3 tiles when you turn it sideways. It's 4 tiles high, but only 3 tiles wide. That does mean, unfortunately, you'd have to do 1 more space, though, if you wanted 3. But we generally only have 2. I did make a case for why you need 3 channels. So if I were to make another base, I would do 3 channels. But we would be able to just do this. Yeah. And now we have 2 stations. And with 2 stations, you only need 8 loaders. And then you just need some form to, like, disable these loaders. You could still filter... I'm just briefly thinking about this and then we'll stop. So you'd set filters. And then I think you'd have some sort of decider combinator that would tell which... How would you do this, actually? Because, like, if this is the channel 1 and this is the channel 2, and then you pass a smaller version of the inventory to this one, then that all works fine. But the problem is when this one shows up, items are going to get onto this belt and then go nowhere. So those items need to be sent back in. You could do that potentially with inserters. And then those loop back around, and those only run if there's no trains at the station. So that's one option. Another option would be to have some sort of enable disable signal. Yeah, this is probably the way to do it. And then you just have, you know, a signal that's not an item. Can it set filters to signal 1? Hold on, I just have to find out if it can. And then we'll be done with the episode. I swear, I swear. So can we set filter? Like if I have this and I say 1 equals 1. Okay, it doesn't filter. Like let's say I have rails in here and then I set that to be the filter. Okay, that does work. And that's the only one that's enabled. So what we would do is we would just have some ability to read, you know, whether a train's in the station. Read the train count or whatever, or read a stop train. And then we can do 1. There we go. This way they can even be on the same wire. This will read stop train 2. Okay, this is my solution for without Dan Bopes' fork, how you would do a super trasher. Still relatively simply. All you do is these 6 are enabled if 1 is greater than 0. These, oh, well, hold on, we got a little bit of an issue. These are enabled if 2 is greater than 0. These are enabled if 1 is greater than 0. And then I guess there's a couple methods we could use for this. But I think the simplest is one like this that is this is not the kind of combinator I wanted. Basically it's just looking if 1 and 2 are greater. If 1 or 2 is greater than 0, then output M for middle. And so these will run. Oh, no, I'm just being dumb. These just don't need a condition. These run no matter what, because they'll be hooked up to the correct train in all circumstances. So if the train wagon, you know, if the train wagons are here, then these 4 will be running no matter what, which is correct. And then these 2 will turn on because it's the front train. But then if the train wagons are back here and it's a trash train, these 4 will be running because that's what they do no matter what. But then these will turn on because this train is stopped and it's reading. Now it's going to send the train ID. So signal 2 will be like 5072. Can train IDs be negative? I hope not. If they can, you just do not equal to 0 and that should still be fine. I doubt train IDs can be 0. So then that just kind of guarantees that you're turning on the correct loaders based on where the train is. And then you're setting the filters as usual based on the output of these guys. Because these are reading, you know, what it's requesting. Do we need to negate the amount? Yeah, no, we need to do the normal stuff too that we do with loading stations where we're subtracting what's in the train. We need to read the train contents and then subtract that and then send that as a filter. Anyway, this is my super trasher idea that does not require the Dan Bopes fork. It is more elegant with 2. It gets a little bit inelegant with 3 because to have 3 with the way station combinators work, or cybernetic combinators work, there's no way to get 3 in a row because the middle combinator would have to touch one of the ones on the side. There's no way to access this train stop with a cybernetic combinator. That is really unfortunate. So you'd have to space it out 1 further, which then really messes with loading and unloading. In fact, I guess it just barely works. Can we even have warehouses that are big enough for that? I guess 12 by 2, yeah. So this could still work. It's a little clunky, but it still works. You know, it's still the same concept as what we just did. You just have loaders, each loader's configured to a set of when it runs. So like, and you can just use a decider combinator to like kind of multiply. You can use a binary thing too, like a decider combinator. I'm trying to think of the easiest way to do it. You could read train count. Yeah, the train ID is going to be a random number. This is going to be 1 every time, which is probably what we want. Oh, train's going. Never mind. So you'd probably just do read stop train, you know, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. And then you would have a unique... What do you call this? Multiplex? Is this multiplexing? I don't really know what the word multiplexing means, but this feels like what might be multiplexing. Because then you'd be like, if one... You know what? I think you actually just want to do this. And then you do, oh, it's, shoot. Never mind. I was hoping I could set the amount that it outputs, but you're just reading if the train is stopped. So we'd have to be like, if, you know, if one, because these 6 would run if train 1 is here, but then these 2 need to also run if train 2 is here. So those would run for 1 or 2. And those would output, we'll just say 3 because that's 1 plus 2. No, 3 is confusing. Yeah, this is where we get into the weeds. You know, this would be the first set of middles. And then these, so these 2 are running for 1 or 2. And then these 4 are running for 2 or 3. So we'd have a second set that would measure if 2 or 3 is going. And then these ones could just be wired directly from 3. I mean, that works. It's 2 decider combinators, but honestly, this isn't that bad. It's 2 decider combinators, and that's the only big difference. And like, yeah, it's a big warehouse, but like, who cares? It's a trasher. It's a multi-trasher. We want a big warehouse anyway. So this is not that bad of a solution, in all honesty. I'm kind of like, why didn't I think of this before? There is a little bit of weirdness with the train limit. We do need to probably dynamically set the train limit, and we need to read the train count at the same time. And then you need some sort of arithmetic. I'm just confirming if this is even possible. I think it is. So you're reading the train count. So you do C minus 2 or plus 2. No. 2 minus C. And we output, you know, train limit T. Or, yeah. So now the limit is, as soon as trains start coming here, the limit would shrink down to be smaller. So I think that works. That way we can't have too many trains coming. All right, anyway, I hope that's helpful. If you've been wondering how you can accomplish super trashers without doing the weird, like, stations on 2 sides thing, I think this is a much more elegant solution. It would force me to have a longer station for the super trashers. That would be the only downside from my specific base. But if you plan for it from the beginning, I think it's doable. Anyway, I hope this has been a good episode. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see y'all in the next one.